Caretakers Committee to man local government affairs.
Except through elected representative. It's very, that others are doing it, that things are happening in the past and nobody has questioned it, does not make it right. The law is very clear that no part of this nation should be governed except through elected representative. What we're saying is that the governor has ample opportunity.
Recall that the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, as led by Tony Okocha, recently during a press briefing in Port Harcourt, exposed plans by Governor Siminalayi Fubara to secure an interim order to override the laws passed by the State House of Assembly and declare them illegal. Authorities of the Bayelsa State Police Command said it has deployed adequate police personnel and security assets across nooks and crannies of the state to prevent any form of election violence before, during and after the April 6 local government election in the state. State Commissioner CP Alonienu Francis Idu, in a statement signed by the Police Public Relations Officer ASP Musa Mohammed, assured the people of the state of its commitment to ensuring social harmony and security stability during the polls. The CP urged all stakeholders, including political parties, candidates and voters, to conduct themselves peacefully and abide by the laws governing the process. He said the State Command will be collaborating closely with other security agencies, electoral officials and relevant stakeholders to ensure a smooth and credible election. Meanwhile, Bayelsa State Chapter of the All Progressives Congress has dissociated the party from what they described as the local government elections scheduled to take place on April 6, 2024. The party, in a statement by its State Publicity Secretary, Dofie Bokoribos, stated that the APC in the state does not have an iota of confidence in the Bayelsa State Independent Electoral Commission, which is composed of card-carrying members of the People's Democratic Party. He alleged that there was an already prepared list of winners which would be announced after the election on April 6th. Bokoribo recalled that the BICEC issued a notice for elections and asked parties to conduct primaries in 2023, but the PDP could not conduct theirs due to internal wrangling, which led to the postponement of the elections till now. Bokoribo called on all party faithful and supporters not to participate in the election. Operatives of the Bayelsa State Police Command have arrested a 17-year-old boy over the suspected murder of his 14-year-old girlfriend, a resident of Akaibiri community in Yenegua, local government area of the state. Police Publications Officer in the state, ASP Musa Mohammed, in a statement disclosed that the State Commissioner of Police, CP Alonienu Idu, has ordered a discreet investigation into the circumstances leading to the death of the teenage girl in a hotel in Yenegua. The suspect, identified as Lucky Okubo, was arrested by police operatives attached to Ikeki Divisional Police Headquarters. Lucky confessed upon interrogation that he took the deceased, Shalone Bitare, to a hotel where he intended to have carnal knowledge with her. The CP urged the general public to remain calm, vigilant, and report any suspicious activities to the nearest police station. Akwa Ibom State Government says it will next week take decision on proposed increment of pension workers in its employ who retired before the year 2012. Recall that the leadership of the Nigerian Union Pensioners in the state had, during a press conference, disclosed its plan to stage a mass protest and picketing of the government house over government insensitivity to addressing the demands of plights of its members. Commissioner for Information, Ini Emabong, who disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen on Thursday in Uyo, said this followed a memo received and deliberated by the State Executive Council meeting on Wednesday. Emabong disclosed that the Council also received and discussed report on Ibom Power Company Limited and Dakada Skills Acquisition Center in order to evaluate performance. 7-man panel investigating allegations of constitutional breaches against the Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu on Friday concluded its sittings without Shaibu or his counsel appearing. The panel commenced sitting on Wednesday, April 3rd, and ended on Friday, April 5th, 2024. At the Friday sitting, the chairman of the panel, retired Justice Omonwa, said the sitting was adjourned to Friday to give more opportunity to the respondent to present its defense. The panel was constituted by the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Daniel Okungbowa, on March 22, 2024, in line with the resolution of the State House of Assembly to investigate the impeachment petition against the Deputy Governor, which bordered on allegations of gross misconduct and perjury. In its ruling, the panel said the J.E. Ekwo order does not stop its proceedings, but only asked it to appear before it on April 8, 2024. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Benin Zonal Command has arrested 39 suspected internet fraudsters at different locations in Benin City, the state capital. Spokesman for the anti-graft agency, Dele Wale, revealed this in a statement in Abuja, saying the suspects were arrested following actionable intelligence on their suspected involvement in a computer-related fraud. Oyewale said items recovered from them included 8 cars, laptops and phones. He said the suspects will be charged to court soon. Edo State Police Command has reiterated the ban on officers searching citizens' phones during routine patrols and other operations, describing the act as an unprofessional conduct. Command's Public Relations Officer, SP Chidi Mwabuzo, disclosed this in a statement posted on the Command's Facebook page on Friday. In a statement, the State Commissioner of Police, CP Funsho Adegboye, warned officers to desist from this act, as the Inspector General of the Police, IGP Kayode Gwetokun, had directed the punishment of erring officers. The statement added that CP Adegboye stated that officers can only be allowed to search citizens' phones when executing court order from the court of competent jurisdiction, as it empowers them to carry out such duties therein in the course of investigation. He warned the officers and men to desist from this unprofessional conduct of searching phones, stating that any officer caught doing so will face severe sanctions. Abia State House of Assembly has passed into law HAB 12 titled the Abia State Medicine and Health Commodities Management Agency Bill 2024, the bill which seeks to ensure regular availability of quality medicines and health commodities at affordable cost and strengthening of manufacturing units for local production of medicine, among others, was sponsored by the Majority Leader and member representing Arochukwu constituency, Okoro Chinakalu. Addressing his members during the passage of the bill, Speaker Emmanuel Emeruwa said the bill, when assented to by the executive, would be deemed to have come into force on the 4th day of April 2024. The Assembly also entertained a petition brought before it by the member representing Ohafia South State Constituency, Kalu Umba Nwoke, titled The Nefarious Acts of Mecha Ume, the President General of Okon Aku Development Union, in vandalizing machinery at the Eastern Region Estate Investment Palm Settlement, Okon Aku Ohafia. Nwoke, who appealed for the reactivation of the Eastern Region Estate Investment Palm Settlement to create employment for his constituents, and called for thorough investigation into the vandalization of the iron rods from the palm settlement and prosecution of those involved in the alleged act. Accident involving a truck along Onitsha-Asaba Bridgehead, Anambra, claimed the life of a woman. Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Adeoye Irele Wuyi, confirmed the incident to newsmen in Akwa on Friday. He said FRSC rescue team rushed the injured victims to Toronto Hospital in Onitsha and deposited the body of the dead at the hospital morgue. While commiserating with the family of the dead, Irele Wuyi urged motorists to ensure regular maintenance of their vehicles to ascertain when it is suitable to ply the road. He also advised motorists to adhere to traffic rules. Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, CP is working hard to restore normalcy in the state, some influential persons are working tirelessly to sabotage the efforts. He said such sabotage has resulted in the few security breaches that occurred in the state in recent times, which are the attacks on police stations and the court-related killings that recently surged in Accra. Adoye stated this during his visit to the Anambra NUJ Press Center in Accra for the April Congress of the Union. Police Commissioner also revealed that 3 Beretta pistols were recently recovered from quarters in Ogidi and Equilobia within a space of a few hours, which he said would have also aggravated the court-related clash if the police had not recovered them. He also wondered what people aim to achieve by sabotaging security efforts and sponsoring crimes in society. He, however, reassured that the police would not relent in battling and taking the fight to the criminal elements in the state. Operatives of the Rapid Response Squad of the Lagos State Police Command has impounded no fewer than 85 motorcycles in different areas of the state. RRS disclosed this in a statement on Friday, adding that the operation was led by the RRS commander, CSP Olayinka Ebemi. The squad also received support from the enforcement team of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority during the operation. State Commissioner of Police CP Adegoke Fayode therefore assured all that the exercise would be sustained until there is compliance. It also reports that the task force chairman, CSP Sholajide Loye, has intensified the enforcement of the ban on motorcycles across Lagos, as the state government had banned the operation of commercial motorcycles to guarantee safety on major highways. Lagos State Police Command is investigating a reported increase in case of phone theft where victims have to pay to retrieve their phones. This development followed a viral video by a Nigerian film director, Biodun Stephen. Reacting to the viral video on X, the public relations officer of the Nigeria Police Force, ACP Olumuyiwa Dejobi, stated that the Lagos State government and police will investigate the issue. Stephen had raised the alarm in a video posted on her Instagram page on Thursday, seeking the help of security agencies and the government to curb the menace. She added that she heard about a case of a lady whose phone was snatched and she ended up paying 50,000 naira. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of our stories. Nigeria Police Force has dissociated itself from a document purportedly containing conclusions of an investigation into the allegations against the owner, Lokia Datiwa, saying it did not originate from the force. According to the police, the document alleges fraudulent misrepresentation, certificate forgery, examination malpractice, and perjury against the governor. This was made known on Friday in a statement by ACP Olumiyiwa Dejobi, Force Public Relations Officer, Force Headquarters Abuja. Ayedatiwa is facing allegations that his academic credentials are fake. Adejobi said the alleged signatory of the document, a Deputy Commissioner of Police, does not have the authority to release such a report on behalf of the Force Criminal Investigation Department or any other such department within the Nigeria Police Force. Ogun government says it has begun evacuation and rehabilitation of mentally derailed destitutes who constitute nuisance to communities across the state. Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Adijat Adeleye, who made a disclosure on Friday in Abeokuta, said the exercise was geared towards sanitizing the environment and ensuring security of residents. Adeleye decried the increasing number of destitutes roaming the metropolis while stressing the need for the ministry to expedite action to curtail the abnormality and reduce the dangers it posed to the society. She stated that the rehabilitation department of the ministry had gone around the 20 local government areas of the state to ensure that streets were rid of vagrants for the safety of others. The commissioner stated that this set of people would be properly rehabilitated and united with their families after receiving medical care. Benue State Independent Electoral Commission on Friday declared that elections would be conducted into the councils of 23 local government areas of the state on July 6, 2023. Chairman of BSIEC, John Chen, made the announcement during a stakeholders meeting held in Makurdi, the state's capital, to unveil action plans as well as activities lined up towards the exercise. Chen said the elections would be conducted for chairmen and councillors into the local government councils and council wards, including the expected newly created council wards in the state. According to him, the move followed the governor's charge that the commission should quickly swing into action and kickstart the processes and procedures aimed at conducting free, fair and credible elections in the state. He stated that the Commission will not organize voodoo or sham elections, adding that it knows the dangers of organizing sham elections, which only lead to the enthronement of mediocre and people of dubious acceptability into positions of leadership, ultimately leading to dismal governance. Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Benue State Polytechnic Kolo Chapter and the concerned Idoma Senior Staff Association of the institution have urged Governor Hyacinth Ali to reverse the recent removal of Nathaniel Oche as the rector of the Polytechnic. Oche, who was appointed rector of the institution on May 25, 2023 for a 5-year tenure, was recently removed from office by present administration. Addressing newsmen in Makurdi, the chairman of the ASU Benue Polytechnic chapter, Comrade David Owona, recalled how the institution was run in an acting capacity for 18 months, contrary to the provisions of the law, before the appointment of Dr. Oche, the first indigenous rector of the institution. The union maintained that Oche had done well within the short period he headed the institution, and he had taken the right decisions and made appropriate appointments that had created industrial harmony in the institution, hence the resolve of the union to call for the reversal of his sack. On their part, the concerned Idoma Senior Staff Association of the institution, Jude Eza, noted that the rector was appointed legally, but the termination of his appointment did not follow due process. Suspected Fulani gunmen on Friday invaded Agojeju Odo, a community in Omala Local Government Council in Kogi East Senatorial District, killing scores. It was gathered that the marauders who are fully armed surrounded the community and opened fire, killing and burning houses. A community leader who escaped by the whiskers but pleaded to remain anonymous said they were caught unawares. He revealed that 27 corpses had been recovered as of the time of filing this report, while some local vigilante men had moved into the bush looking for missing persons. Speaking with Kogi State Police Public Relations Officer SP William Aya, he confirmed the attack but said the Commissioner of Police immediately drafted the tactical squad to the scene to restore normalcy. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested 2 suspects for the illegal possession of firearms and impersonation as military personnel in Kogi State. Parading the suspects on Friday, the command headquarters in Lokoja, the Kogi State Commandant of NSCDC, Pauli Gwebuike, said one Muhammad Yahaya, 36 years of age, was arrested on the 3rd of April 2024 at the early hour of the day at Sakin Norma, a suburb of Lokoja metropolis, by officers of the command on routine patrol for allegedly being in possession of locally made pistol and axe. Commandant Igwe noted that the suspect perpetrated the crime in company of 2 other suspects who are currently at large. NSCDC Commandant intimated the public that the second suspect, identified as Abdullahi Takur, was arrested for cheating and impersonation as military personnel in Kogi State. The commandant, however, warned criminally minded individuals in Kogi State to have a change of mind and embrace a true way of living. Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has said the Abuja Rail Mass Transit project is now 97% completed and will be ready for commissioning by May 29th. The minister disclosed this on Friday after an inspection tour of the metro station in Central Area and the station at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Describing the project as a dream come true, Wike said President Bola Tinubu had approved the schedule for the inauguration of the projects and celebrated his 1 year in office. The minister, who took a 30-minute ride from the metro station to the airport, argued that it was more convenient to use the train than vehicles to go to the airport. On whether the rail lines would be extended to areas experiencing high traffic, the minister said he is not committing anything now, adding that he is taking everything step by step. Police escort attached to the Abuja-Kaduna train route reportedly died aboard the train while conveying passengers from Kaduna to Abuja. A source said the officer complained of chest pain before succumbing to the cold hands of death. According to the source, before a passenger identified as a doctor could attend to him to manage the situation, the police officer had already passed away. The police officer was said to have left home in good health before he complained of chest pain and asked his colleagues to get him some glucose and water. Olumiyiwa Adejobi, the force public relations officer, could not be reached for comments as all efforts to reach him proved abortive. Speaker of Plateau State House of Assembly Gabriel Dewan has sworn in 9 out of 16 All Progressive Congress lawmakers. The swearing-in took place in the early hours of Friday in Jos, the state capital. The Speaker also announced the extension of the tenure of the Transition Implementation Committee Chairman of the 17 local government areas for 9 months. Shortly after the brief ceremony, the state governor, Caleb Mufwang, received the principal officers and members who were in his office to intimate him about the development. The governor welcomed the lawmakers and emphasized the importance of fostering a harmonious working relationship and enhancing collaboration among the 3 arms of government in the best interest of the state. Kwara government says its order banning the production of charcoal in the state still stands. State Commissioner for Environment, Malam Ndanusa, made this known while briefing newsmen in Ilorin on Friday. The commissioner warned that illegal felling of trees for charcoal was impacting negatively on the environment, adding that the government was committed to afforestation to preserve the environment. Ndanusa said that task force on charcoal production has been ordered to move around the state to ascertain the level of compliance and impound vehicle transporting charcoal out of the state. The commissioner urged the public to partner with the present administration in its efforts at tackling deforestation and promoting clean and healthy environment in the state. Analysts say the sales of unauthorized learning materials to students of tertiary institutions by lecturers is a punishable offense. Speaking on Atlantic Television Society Watch, a public affairs analyst, Godson Kilechi, stated that lecturers who are involved in the sales of handouts must be sanctioned as it is against academic rules and policy.
They are being taught. It is the responsibility of the teachers or lecturers in these institutions to recommend study materials for the students. But the issue of handouts have been long time prohibited in the tertiary institutions. And those who are still engaging in this banned activity are only disobeying the laid down rules that the management of the institutions have put in place. The handouts
Godson further maintained that learning materials suitable for students should be recommended to all students without preference.
Supposed to be sold to students. If there are any materials that students need for their studies, they are recommended or they are supposed to be given to them freely. In terms of if they
Recall that authorities of the Isa Mustafa Polytechnic, the Nasarawa state-owned polytechnic, has announced a ban on the sale of handouts to students of the institutions, as it insisted that education in the institution was not for sale. Kano State Government has filed an 8-count charge against former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje and 7 others, including his wife Hafsat and son Umar, accusing them of various financial crimes. The charges include collecting $200,000 from a contractor, as well as misappropriating funds earmarked for the purchase of face masks and hospital equipment. In a charge sheet filed before Kano High Court, the New Nigeria People's Party-led state government said the offense contravened Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Commission Law 2008. Other defendants in the case were Abubakar Baruro, Jibrila Mohammed, Lamash Properties Limited, Safari Textiles Limited, and Lesaga General Enterprises. The state government under Governor Abba Yusuf also accused Ganduje of collecting $210,000 kickback from people and entities seeking or holding the execution of Kano State government contract and or project for the remodeling of Canteen Quarry Textile Market as a bribe through one of the contractors. Meanwhile, National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, on Friday warned Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf to concentrate on bringing good governance to his people instead of embarking on a futile attempt to drag his name in the mud. Ganduje was reacting to the decision of the state government to file criminal charges against him over alleged bribery of $413,000 and 1.38 billion naira respectively. Of President Bola Tinubu's administration. Ganduje said the move was the latest attempt by the state government to drag his name in the mud, adding that it also spoke volumes on the level of crass ignorance and disregard for the rule of law by the governor. President Bola Tinubu declared the probe into the Central Bank of Nigeria closed and lauded Jim Obazi, who was the special investigator. Presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale said this in a Friday statement. President Bola Tinubu thanks Jim Obazi, former Chief Executive Officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, for his services as the special investigator of the Central Bank of Nigeria and other related entities upon his appointment on July 28, 2023. The President commends Obazi for the dedication and professionalism he exercised in handling the complexities of this critical national assignment. Minority caucus of the House of Representatives has condemned the hike in electricity tariffs across Nigeria by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, describing the act as insensitive, inhuman, and evil, according to a statement by the leader of the caucus, Kingsley Chinda, in Abuja on Friday. The abrupt hike, which places an unbearable burden on the already strained populace, exacerbating economic hardships and widening the chasm is inhumane and must not be tolerated. He said such a hike, which is over 200% of the rate inflation, utterly disregards the plight of ordinary citizens who are grappling with the adverse effect of the removal of oil subsidy, galloping inflation, unemployment, and inadequate access to basic amenities. He further added that transparent dialogue and inclusive decision-making processes are imperative to address the root cause of the energy sector's inefficiencies and ensure sustainable solutions that benefit all stakeholders, not a consistent and persistent increase in tariffs. He called for increased accountability and transparency in the management of resources within the electricity sector, adding that citizens have the right to demand efficient service delivery and fair pricing mechanisms that align with their economic realities. House of Representatives has extended its holiday by 1 week and is set to resume on 23rd April. The Clerk of the House, Yahaya Danzaria, announced the extension in a statement. It would be recalled that the House was scheduled to resume on 16th April, however, it has now been postponed by a week. Danzaria said the postponement is allowed to the completion of the Green Chamber, which has been under renovation for the past 2 years. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of our stories. Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation has inaugurated a 12-member committee for the promotion of the health and well-being of its staff. The inauguration was carried out by the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi-Asan, who was represented by the Director overseeing the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Office in the OHCSF, Dr. Comfort Adeosun. Asan noted that the initiative is in line with Pillar 6 of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, which is to improve the value proposition of staff through continuous promotion of a safe and convenient work environment, well-being as well as the provision of basic support services for civil servants through various activities. She reiterated the need for the members to prioritize safety at all levels and times, adding that a safety audit will be carried out very soon. You are going to become the voice and eyes of safety in OHCSF, she opined. She further encouraged members of the committee to serve with diligence and commitment because the safety and well-being of all staff is very essential for improved productivity and as well as quality service delivery. Nigeria has been elected as the current chair of the Executive Board of the United Nations Human Settlement Program. Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development. This was reviewed during a meeting between the UN's Habitat Portfolio Manager for West African Matthias Spalivero and Guazo. Guazo expressed delight and assured the program manager that Nigeria would accomplish assignments. He therefore sought more collaboration between the ministry and UN Habitat as critical partners in realizing the vision of President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda for housing and urban development in Nigeria. The minister reiterated the commitment of the ministry in securing healthy and decent environments for all Nigerians. Inspector General of Police Kayode Betokun has authorized the promotion of 10,581 deserving junior officers of the Inspectorate Cadet and the rank and file. Following this directive, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, overseeing Department of Finance and Administration, DIG Bala Siroma, has been tasked with coordinating efforts alongside the Commissioner of Police Welfare to commence the promotion process. Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi Force made this known in Abuja, disclosing that those to be promoted are 9,831 police constables to be promoted to the rank of corporal, 81 corporals to be promoted to the rank of sergeant, and 669 officers set to progress from the rank of sergeants to inspectors. He said the IGP, in approving the promotions, reiterated the zeal of the force leadership to foster a culture of meritocracy and career advancement, while assuring that promotions in the force will be solely on merit. The IGP extended his heartfelt congratulations to all officers slated for promotion and urged them to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and service to the nation. Nigerian Meteorological Agency has predicted thunderstorms and sunshine across the country. NIMET Weather Outlook, released in Abuja, predicted a sunny atmosphere over the northern region throughout the forecast period on Friday. The agency envisaged isolated thunderstorms over parts of Kebbi, Zamfara, and Kaduna states during the afternoon and evening periods. According to the agency, sunny skies with few cloud patches are expected over the north-central region during the morning hours. It said Akwa Ibom, Delta Rivers, and Bayelsa states later in the day. NIMET predicted sunny skies on Saturday with few cloud patches over parts of the northwest and parts of the northeast to be sunny and dry during the morning hours. Northern Elders Forum has frowned against recent decisions by President Bola Tinubu-led federal government to increase electricity tariff in the country. In a statement by its spokesman, Abdul Aziz Suleiman, the Northern Elders Forum noted that the drastic increase in electricity tariff will have a significant negative impact on the already struggling population, further exacerbating the gap between the rich and the poor. The forum described the tariff increase as a reckless move and a complete disregard for the well-being and welfare of the Nigerian people. They called on the federal government to immediately reconsider what they refer to as ill-conceived decision and consider the dire economic situation faced by the majority of Nigerians. NEF's reaction is coming 2 days after the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission announced an increment in electricity tariff for Band A customers. It explained that these are people who enjoy a 20-hour supply of electricity daily. Now to business news. Central Bank of Nigeria has sold 676.65 billion naira through the open market operation at a 21% interest rate to manage the money supply. This is according to data from CBN's first April auction schedule. According to the data, the auction targets the management of the banking system's liquidity to prevent an oversupply of naira, which could trigger inflationary pressures. It also aims to provide an avenue for the CBN to stabilize the financial markets by offering competitive returns to investors, thus aligning the country's monetary policy with its economic objectives. Accordingly, the Apex Bank leveraged higher interest rates to attract a strong turnout from investors, utilizing OMO's bills to absorb excess liquidity from the financial system. Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has fined Abuja Electricity Distribution PLC 200 million naira over tariff violation. This was contained in a statement on Friday via NEC's X handle. NEC said AEDC was penalized for failing to adhere to its tariff guidelines, creating a stir among consumers and industry stakeholders alike. The agency said the decision follows a detailed review and customer feedback, which revealed that AEDC had applied the new tariff to all customer bands, contrary to the order, which was designed to ensure fair billing practices. It therefore mandated AEDC to reimburse all customers in bands B, C, D, and E, respectively, that were billed above the allowed customer categories tariff bands provided in the order. Zimbabwe's central bank launched a new structured currency backed by gold on Friday as it seeks to tackle sky-high inflation and stabilize the country's long-floundering economy. The ZiG, short for Zimbabwe Gold, will replace the Zimbabwean dollar, which has tumbled in value over the past year, pushing inflation through the roof. He added that ZiG will be fully anchored and fully backed by a basket of reserves comprising foreign currency and precious metals, mainly gold. The move is aimed at fostering simplicity, certainty, and predictability in Zimbabwe's financial affairs, he added, presenting the new banknotes that come in 8 denominations ranging from 1 to 200 ZiG. And now to international tidbits. Israel's Minister of Economy, Nir Barkat, has denied claims that Israeli forces deliberately targeted 7 World Central Kitchen aid workers in Gaza. WCK founder Jose Andres has accused Israel of targeting his workers systematically, car by car. Dismissing the claim, Barkat described Andres' comment as nonsense. He said the strikes that killed the workers were a grave mistake, adding that the incident would be investigated. Speaking to newsmen, he said Israel was terribly sorry about killing the 7 aid workers, but unfortunately in wars, friendly fires happen. President Joe Biden has threatened to condition support for Israel's offensive in Gaza on its taking concrete steps to protect aid workers and civilians. According to reports, Biden is seeking to, for the first time, to leverage U.S. aid to influence Israeli military behavior. The report said Biden's warning relayed in a call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after a deadly Israeli attack on a World Central Kitchen aid workers, with Israel saying the attack was a mistake. The action spurred new calls from Biden's fellow Democrats to place conditions on U.S. aid to Israel. Biden, a lifelong supporter of Israel, has resisted pressure to withhold aid or halt the shipment of weapons to the country. United Nations Security Council diplomats were shaken in their chairs, planes got briefly grounded, and furniture rattled across New York Friday when an earthquake jolted the city that never sleeps. No one was hurt, and New York's iconic skyline remained intact. The tremor had a 4.8 magnitude, according to the United States Geological Survey. Flight operations were halted at several airports in the region, including New York's LaGuardia, Philadelphia, and Newark in New Jersey. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya on Friday said police have detained 8 people suspected of selling information to the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad. Revealing this on social media platform X, Yerlikaya said 2 of the suspects were taken into custody and a judicial control decision was made for 6 others. He said the suspects held meetings with Israeli intelligence and compiled information about individuals and companies in Turkey that were targeted by Mossad. He added that they allegedly transferred the information and documents to Israeli intelligence element. The raids were conducted jointly with the Turkish National Intelligence Organization, according to the minister. Los Angeles Police and the Federal Bureau of Investigation are investigating a daring robbery of nearly $30 million in cash after burglars broke through the roof of a money storage facility and cracked a safe. David Kiala, the Los Angeles Police Department, said the robbery, one of the largest cash thefts in the city's history, took place on Easter Sunday in the northern suburb of Tilma. According to reports citing a source familiar with the investigation, the burglars busted through a roof to access the building's vault, somehow evading a sophisticated alarm system. The elaborate and sophisticated theft appeared to be the work of an experienced crew and was only discovered on Monday when staff opened the vault. Now to entertainment news. Power of God Ministry Port Harcourt has unveiled 6 hours of gospel symphony, divine visitation and revival in God's presence. Highlights of the event include intensive choral ministrations, prophetic revelations, and testimonies. According to the clergy, Pastor King David Ebenezer, the gospel event, 6 hours in God's presence, was born out of God's directive to revitalize, revive, heal, and unleash divine blessings to Christians through an extensive session of worships and praises as guided by the Holy Spirit to wait on God's purpose and blessings.
So at the end of the day, you will go home with your miracle. Like I said earlier, a change of story comes in a moment. Even while you were dancing, somebody has gotten a miracle. It comes in a moment. And that very important moment comes sometimes in hours of waiting. You keep waiting. You wait. That's why we're here 6 hours to wait on the Lord. We are waiting. What are you waiting for? If you don't have a purpose, then you are waiting in vain.
"6 hours in His presence was spirit-filled with anointing and praises." Speaking on the anointing of the event, lead pastor King David Ebenezer, including members of the church, stated that the program was guided by God's Spirit to create a reawakening among believers.
To be among people that students 6 hours in His presence, you feel the presence of God, and you have an encounter with it, you saw what happened. We know that so many people feel with the Holy Ghost today, and so many people are going with happiness in Jesus' name.
Education in the life of a believer like that. After hearing what has happened to me, there's a change in my mind, and there is more commitment to the things of God, spiritual commitment.
Today we have what we call 7 hours with the Holy Spirit. It is indeed completely from the leading of the Spirit. He does what He wants. We come in and relax in His presence. According to how He directs us, so we go. We have the senior pastor who believe very strongly. With the leading of the Spirit, the senior pastor will lead us aright. So he comes in from the beginning. It's supposed to be from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We come to be soaked in His presence, to be soaked in the presence of God. We believe that the cloud of His glory will descend.
Federal High Court in Lagos on Friday convicted controversial cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, for abusing the naira. Justice Abimbola Owogboro convicted him after the review of the facts of the case. His allocutus, Bobrisky, told the court that he was not aware of the law on abusing the naira. He said he is a social media influencer with over 5 million followers. Justice Abimbola Awogboro therefore reserved the judgment of convicted popular cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, till April 9, 2024. Earlier, Bobrisky was arraigned on 4 counts of naira abuse preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Meanwhile, Nigerian comedian Ali Baba has weighed in on the arrest of Bobrisky by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Bobrisky, a self-proclaimed transgender and cross-dresser, was arrested in Lagos on Wednesday night for allegedly mishandling naira notes. According to reports, Bobrisky was apprehended for allegedly spraying and damaging the currency notes at an event. In response, Ali Baba took to his Instagram page and shared a picture showing men spraying and stepping on currency notes at a party. The 58-year-old comedian questioned whether the EFCC failed to take action against these men because of their gender. He also questioned the justification behind Bobrisky's arrest, stating that it is unfair. Nigerian singer Tiwa Savage has unveiled a release date for her much-anticipated debut movie, Wata and Gari. After teasing fans about her venture into the film industry, Savage took to social media to announce highly awaited release date. She revealed that the movie is set to premiere on May 10, 2024, exclusively on the global streaming platform Prime Video. Tiwa Savage is one of the leading figures in the Nigerian music industry and has gained international recognition for her work. Tiwa Savage started her music career as a backup singer for artists such as George Michael and Mary J. Blige. In NATO sports, Super Eagles will take on Benin Republic in a 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier at a neutral venue. Confederation of African Football has ruled that stadiums in Benin are substandard and cannot host originating from Benin. The country's football associations are in talks with their Ivorian counterpart to play the game in one of their stadiums used during the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. The next round of World Cup qualifiers will be played between June 3rd and 11th. The Nigerians will host the Bafana Bafana of South Africa before facing the Squirrels. Nigeria Premier Football League has announced a new date for the match day 28 fixture between Kano Pillars and Shooting Stars. The game was initially scheduled for Sunday, April 7, 2024, but have been moved to Monday, April 8, 2024. The encounter will take place at the Sani Abacha Stadium, Kano. The game was postponed due to logistics constraints. Shooting Stars are targeting their second away win against the Saimasu Gida. Pillars were thrashed 5-0 by defending champions Ayimba in midweek. Kano Pillars and Shooting Stars occupy 8th and 6th position in the NPFL table, respectively. Swedish second-tier club Norrby IF has announced the signing of Nigerian winger Prince Amos. The young star joined Norrby IF from Triple Academy on a season-long loan with an option to buy. Amos was previously on trial with Djurgårdens IF, Malmö FF, and an unnamed top-flight Belgian club. The 18-year-old reflected on the move after signing his contract. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Analysts ask Fubara to implement peace pact. Police beef up security over Bayelsa LG polls. IGP approves promotion of 10,581 inspectors. NERC finds AEDC 200 million naira over tariff hike. Earthquake hits New York. Court convicts Bobrisky for abusing Naira. Benin Republic to host Super Eagles. I am Valentina Lawrence. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on all our social media platforms: on X, Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram, Atlantic TV Network, or you can watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you. Have a lovely night.